What's up guys, Spirit here. I'm bringing you a brand new deck profile of my deck that I'm using for meta format. By the way, check out my sexy, awesome cases. Vinyl scratch is awesome. End of story. Alright, it's my Harpie deck. I'm using this for meta format. It is so fun to play, and it is absolutely amazing what this deck can do. Even when it's only a limited amount of space in the deck that you have for tech cards. So let's get this started right away. 3 Chandler. This is pretty self-explanatory. Chandler is your monster boss of the deck. She summons any Harpie card from your entire deck by dropping a Harpie card, including Harpie's Pet Dragon, and she ranks to level 7, so you can go into Dragosack or Big Eye. She's pretty easy to understand why you run 3 of her in the deck. She's just that good. Next up is 3 Dancer. I know some people run 2. I like 3 better for the extra sign search, as well as having the additional cards to ditch for Chandler that I can normal summon. And with the way I run this deck, 3 Dancer seems to be a lot more consistent than only 2. So 3 Dancer. 3 Harpie Queen. Harpie Queen is your 1900 beat and is your drop for Hunting Ground. So that's kind of self-explanatory. You need Hunting Ground to make the deck consistent and to waste your opponent's back row. Next up is 2 Summoner Monk. Summoner Monk, if you drop a spell, this deck is kind of spell heavy. You get you can summon Chandler out from deck and continue with your dropping, or you can put Dancer on the field and then put her back in your hand, summon Chandler, and then have a card in hand to ditch for Chandler. So 2 Summoner Monk, it's a really good card to have in the deck since most of the deck is level 4. 1 Harpie's Pet Dragon. I only run 1. I find 2 a little inconsistent because if you pull into it, the only thing you can use it for is dropping for Chandler. I prefer 1. I almost never pull into it. It's usually always in the deck, and it makes it a lot more consistent, so that way I don't have to I always have access to my Dragosack, my Big Eye, etc. Next up is 3 Harpie Lady 1. I know some people prefer Cyber Harpie over Harpie 1. I like Harpie 1 better because it boosts all your wins. I understand that it makes cards just like all your Dancers and etc. Susceptible to Bottomless when you summon them with Hysteric Party. But I usually only use Hysteric Party when I'm going for game. If not, I usually don't target her. So that's how that works. I just like the 300 point boost a lot better because it gets you around some hefty stuff. Next up is one of my tech cards of the deck, and one of my favorite cards for the deck is 2 Miss Valley Falcon, and is also the last of our monsters. Miss Valley Falcon is a really good card to help put stuff like Hunting Ground back in your hand so you don't waste your field spell, because so many people play field spells nowadays. So having 2 Miss Valley Falcon, you swing, you go for your attack, and then you can put that Hunting Ground back in your hand so you don't have to waste it for the pop effect to pop itself. So 2 Miss Valley Falcon, really good card. On to the spells. Really self-explanatory is 3 Harpie's Hunting Ground. You run it over MST because Harpie's Hunting Ground is fucking awesome. You summon a Harpie, either player summons a Harpie, target a spell trap on the field, and pop it. It's mandatory, so be careful. If this is the only one you got out, you have to pop Hunting Ground with it. That's why I run Falcon. Falcon is awesome. 1 Divine Wind to the Miss Valley because you run Falcon and Dancer. So Falcon, if you put a monster back in your hand with the swing, you get another special summon, have another attack. Or if you use Dancer's effect while this is on the field, you can normal summon with it and then get a special summon off with this, so you maintain 2 monsters on the board. Really good card. Next up is the 3 Hysteric Sign. Hysteric Sign is completely and utterly fucking awesome. It's your card to search for Elegant Egotist and your drop card from Monk, your favorite drop card from Monk, and it gets you the +3 Harpies, which is what made this deck broke in the first place. Next up is 2 Elegant Egotist. I know people like 1. I prefer 2 because you have the extra spell card to drop from Monk, and you always have a target in deck if you need it. So 2 Elegant Egotist. Next up is 3 Pot of Duality, an extra target from Monk, and sometimes I found myself where I'm just sitting on the field I have, so being able to play Pot of Duality that turn is kind of easy. So I like 3 Pot of Duality over 2. It seems a lot more consistent and it makes the deck a lot easier to go off. Dark Hole, self-explanatory staple spell card. Next onto the traps, 3 Hysteric Party. Hysteric Party is awesome. It is awesome of awesome of awesome. You play it, you drop a card from your hand, special summon as many Harpies from your graveyard as possible. You can use this to make the wall of Harpies so you don't lose, or you can summon them all for games so you can go for a game. Hysteric Party is one of the reasons that Harpies are what they are. Next up is 3 Magical Hats. Magical Hats is mainstream again. It's awesome. You use it in your opponent's battle phase, and you can set. I usually set Pod Duality and Sign, so that way you get the insta 3 search off with Sign. So that way you can get that +3 at the end phase, and then you can go off on your next turn. So Magical Hats is awesome. I know some people say 2 is better. I like 3. 3 seems more consistent to me. Next up is 3 Fiendish Chain. Since you're running Falcon, a lot of the time you can push monsters back with Chidori. So having the 3 chain, you can have a target to put this back in your hand with Falcon, and then you can set it again and then have another Fiendish Chain for next turn. So 3 Fiendish Chain. It's an awesome card. And my last trap card and last card of the deck is One Call of the Hunted. I had extra space. I wanted another card that I could bring something back with other than Harpie, so Call of the Hunted. One Call of the Hunted. It's a tech card and it works with Falcon too, so Call of the Hunted. Onto the extra deck, we run 1 Digusto Emerald. It's used for putting a Harpie target back into your deck with for Chandler, so that way you can you always have targets. You can put Pet Dragon back too, so that way you can go for Dragosack or something. But yeah, one Digusto Emerald. 1 Maestroke. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's the rank 4 Gotchi, and you can put monsters face down defense. 1 Photon Operative for those rare occurrences where you're fighting Ghost Tricks. I'm kidding, but no, it's a good card. 1 Gem Knight Pearl. This is holding the place of Extinction Knight. Once I get Extinction Knight, this goes bye-bye. Extinction Knight will be absolutely destructive in this deck. 1 Gaga Cowboy. It's self-explanatory. Punch for the 800 damage you didn't get off. Go for game. 1 Diamond Direwolf. Since he can target Winged Beast with his effect, you can if you play Party and you get 5 summons off, you stack up into him. You can pop something on the field and still have field presence. So if you used up all your Chidoris. But yeah, Diamond Direwolf. 1 Abyss Dweller for first game and second game Mermails. Mermails are meta right now, so Abyss Dweller is awesome. You can also use it against Dark Worlds should the problem ever arise. Next is 1 Dragosack. It's self-explanatory. You need Dragosack for that Pet Dragon Chandler overlay. Dragosack is awesome. 1 Big Eye. Big Eye is awesome. That's all I have to say. Big Eye is awesome. Next up is 3 Lightning Chidori. I know people say run 2, run 2, run 2. I like 3 better. 3 seems to me to be a lot more consistent than 2, and I always have one in the deck. Like most people think when they got rid of the first 2, they've exhausted me, and then I summon the 3rd one, they're like, well, shit. So 3 Lightning Chidori. Next up is 2 Ice Beast Xeraphine. Xeraphine is fucking awesome. On your turn, if your opponent has a face-up monster on the field, effect monster on their field, you can detach a material from this card, negate all their effects until their next standby fit, until their end end of their next turn, and this gains 500 for each face-up card on the field excluding itself. It can end the game pretty quickly if you're stuck with something like Marshmallow or something like that on the field, and it also has a great way to get over Dragosack. So. And then one Harpie's Pet Phantasmal Dragon. I rarely go for this, but in the rare occasion that you need to go for this, you go for this, and then you just keep punching for game, so that way your opponent can't touch you. So that's my Harpie deck. Comment, rate, subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Stay gold.